Hi, my name is Monica.
Hey, Evangelise.
And welcome back to Spill the Tea and the Plot. Yay! And today we'll be talking about A Court of Thorn and Roses. And before we start, I have one question, and we're going to answer it in 3, 2, 1. The question is this book worth the hype? Right? So 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm loving this. Okay.
Yeah.
Second question. Did you like this book?
Yes.
Okay, ready?
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm like, this is my reaction. Okay, so you think this book is worth the hype?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I think it's a lot of story building. It's a lot of getting to like a certain thing. But if you know, when it gets to the mountain, things just go down.
Okay, no, that's true.
That they didn't keep a normal story, that it was kind of keeping you guessing throughout the story. You think this is a lovely story about a couple when it doesn't turn out to be. So I just find it interesting.
I had a different perspective. You know this. I tried reading this book one time back in 2014. I didn't like it. And then I didn't even finish it. And then I picked it up again this time. And I almost DNF'd it, honestly. And the reason is because the book reminded me of Beauty and the Beast. And it was so easy for me to guess what was going to happen at the end, where it's just like, you know what? We're going to go into spoilers. Sorry, you guys. But in the book, her father goes somewhere. She has to go search for her father, right? And then she ends up switching places. And now she's in the hand of the beast, right? And then he has a curse. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, Beauty and the Beast. She's going to figure it out. And at the end, the curse is going to be lifted. It was so predictable of some of the things that were happening in that book.
I think the less predictable was at the end. I mean, I was expecting everything that was happening, but I wonder if it's more of a author trying to retell a story in their own way, done purposely, or if it's just a trope that's been used over and over again, like we talked in our other video.
Yeah. Do you think you saw that it was like more of like a Beauty of the Beast story when you were reading it? I know you said like the world building was very great and you really enjoyed it. What was going on in your mind?
I did not enjoy it.
You did not enjoy it, but you're saying it's worth the hype?
Well, here's the thing. Interesting because of the different plots and mixes in the book, which I did enjoy. I just feel that the book took a really long time. At least I'm going to be honest with any of our viewers. At least 3/4 of the book is story building. If you're really not into that world developing type of book, this book is going to bore you very quickly. I tried, like you mentioned before, I tried to read this book at least 2 times. I have never gotten past the 3rd chapter until, obviously we had to read it for YouTube, and I kind of forced myself to read it. And I ended up actually enjoying it. I'm going to be honest with you.
Glad to hear you enjoyed it, because I didn't enjoy it, honestly. I don't understand the hype. Like, I wish I could. Like, and even when I was reading it, I'm the type of person, I'm a very visual learner. Like, when I'm reading something, I see it in my mind. But I had a different perspective when I was reading this book. I felt like there was not enough world building, where it was a lot of conversation, where it's just like, they're talking, a little description about, and it was more of like a dialogue instead of like world building. Until now, I can't really, if I'm being honest to myself, maybe it's just I missed it when I was reading, but I can't picture what their world looks like. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. It was more plot making, and I do agree with you on that. But I mean, that's part of the book. Mostly when it comes down to the end of it, it was kind of like developing certain things without giving everything away. And I think the author really played into that within like the first few chapters. They really played into being secretive, and as we learn down the road, everything that's supposed to be it was not. It was a little like Alice in Wonderland-ish. Everything ended up being upside down than what it was.
Yeah.
So I kind of found it interesting in that sense, but you might be right, like any sense that you're not used to reading books like that, like with a lot of context. It might have been lacking mostly in like details, but I've heard that this book isn't the best of the series. So
yeah, that's what I've heard. A lot of people have been telling me like the first book isn't, and then it's mostly the 3rd book. That's when it really picks up. But do I really need to read all the way until the 3rd book to enjoy a series?
I agree. I don't know. It's just interesting because we kind of got played into believing that something was gonna end one way, and then ended up not being that way.
Yeah.
Personally, my favorite character was Alice.
Really?
Yes. She kind of provided like that sense of comfort for her, and she was like really honest with her and brutal, which is crazy. You would think I would like one of the main characters. I just love when she showed up. I was like, oh, things about to go down. She knows what she's talking about.
No, I can see why. I don't think personally I had a favorite character. I feel like this book I was just trying to get through it. Remember, that's why yesterday when we met, I was just like, I don't want to say anything to influence how you're going to think about this book. But you know what? There are some parts of the book that I did like. I felt like the beginning was not so great, honestly.
No.
But then I did enjoy the ending when she had to do the different trials that she had to do. And like, especially when the queen, I'll call her the queen, like had giving her all these different obstacles and things that she had to find out or figure out. So I did really like it. And I did have a lot of questions, especially now that the other guy is bonded to her, where I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen now?
Well, it's interesting because I wonder, now that they're bonded, you know, Tamlin and her used to be a thing, so I'm wondering if is it gonna change? Is it gonna trick us in the point of who's gonna take the backstage, or is it together? Or I think I have heard enough to spoil myself. I'm just not willing to spoil this group, but it takes a wild turn, and I'm actually, to be honest, crazy enough. I think I'm gonna get the second book. Crazy enough.
Really?
Yes, really. Thinking about it. Don't hold me
Honest,
to it.
honestly,
Thinking about it.
honestly, I feel as if you did enjoy the book, honestly, I feel as if you should get the second book and then just let me know how it is. Because I heard that each story is, I don't know I haven't read the other books, but each story is a different character or a set of
Absolutely, I
lovers.
was wrong. I was wrong with that. It's not.
It's not.
It's not. I
So
was
is it
talking
a
to
kid?
one of my teams at work, and she reads it, and she was like it's different, but it's just different stages, I guess, of
Okay.
everything going on. So on my end,
So you're
you know,
rereading, is it basically you're rereading the same book but from different stages of the story?
no, she just has like a different like part of the story, so it's like the continuum of what it is.
Oh,
But I don't
okay.
know where I've heard that. I think it's one of the other popular books that I've heard that from,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I've heard that some. Anyways, don't quote me on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, I
You
won't.
know
I
I'm gonna
won't.
quote.
Trust me. I'm like, nah,
Uh,
I won't. But what would you say is your rating that you gave this book? Like out of five being the best, one being the least, what would you say you gave it?
I'm gonna say a harsh critic, and I'm gonna say a 3.8.
Mm, I think I gave it a 3.5,
Mm-hmm.
honestly.
I think.
And that actually, I take that back. Probably a 3. It doesn't deserve my 0.5. So a 3. Like it was, honestly, maybe it's because I read, like I grew up on Wattpad, right? So I have like, so it's like some of these stories are so predictable sometimes that this one I felt as if was predictable. But there is a part of the book that was not predictable when she had to stab him.
That was not
And
predictable.
she was processing it in her mind, and she was like, wait a minute, his heart is hardened, which means if she stabbed him, technically he's not going to, like, that to me was shocking. I was just like, oh, that's definitely very new. I didn't expect it, but like when the queen gave the trial, I'm like, okay, but at the end of the day, I already had expected that she was going to reverse the curse. And the way the first book at least ended, I felt like, okay, the story ended there. I don't think there was really, I'm like, yes, I'm curious about her connection with the other guy, but at the same time, I'm like, the book can end there and be a single book, and that'll be it.
Well, you also have to take into the accountability that she was the daughter of a king. So we still have that whole plot line that hasn't been touched yet. As we listen through the book, he has his own lands and he has his own plans. And she is under him, meaning that later down the book, I expect him or at least someone to contribute into the storytelling of this. Because I doubt that he's gonna let this all happen, So I guess that's where the story is building.
No, I can see that actually. Like more on continuing to explore, because we really, if we're being honest, in this book, we didn't explore his world at all. And actually, it was more of like surface level. And that's why at least I was having a little issue at first, because it was like, I don't know anything about this world that was cursed. You know what I mean?
What I can say that I'm not gonna say didn't enjoy it, but I kind of found weird was that we didn't have a point of view of him in the book.
Yeah, that is true.
We didn't have a point of him, like a point of view from his perspective, which I guess it adds to the the secretiveness of it all. We got a small glimpse of his world when he had her look through his eyes essentially and see what the fake world was like, but you're right, we really didn't get to enjoy that throughout the book.
And then I think, no, that's true. And I think the other thing too is a lot of people were talking about how this book was spicy. In my opinion, it was not. So I don't know where these people are getting that rating from. I'm
It's
like,
not.
it is not. I'm like, maybe for
This
some
is very vanilla for what you and me read. This is not that spicy, guys. This is
no, it's, you know what? It's not that spicy. It's not even spice in a sense.
well.
Like
I mean,
well, we just read the book.
If you consider kissing and a little bit of like, without a lot of detail, this book is for you. This book it's for you. If you like a little thingy without, not a lot of description. You read is very detailed. This is not that very detailed when it comes to scenes like that. It's like slower.
No, that's true. Do you think this book could have passed by as a YA?
No.
If you take out the mini spicy scenes that they have, like just because of how it's written, because I feel as if it could. Is it a YA actually? I never checked actually.
Is it?
No, I'm checking right now. Okay, let's see.
I'll be surprised if it is. I mean, it has certain topics in the
initially
book.
It says initially it was marketed as a young adult when it was first published, but now it is more of like as an adult / new adult.
Get that. Because the reading world has changed so much.
That's
you
true.
know. In the past, I could see this as a YA. Now, I really wouldn't say so because of certain topics in the book. Like, obviously the sexual scenes and the manipulation and the lying and the beatings and everything in between. I can see why it wouldn't appeal to the age group at this time. But in the past, I can definitely see this as a YA back in our age.
No, that's true. But at the same time, even now, I can see it as a YA because people are younger than. Well, we're not that old, you guys. Like, we're still young. Thank you very much.
You couldn't tell.
So it's like I could technically still see it as young adult because it all depends on what you consider as young adult. Because for me, young adult is like 19 and like early 20s is young adults. Like 18, well, even 8, I don't even consider 18, but like 19 all the way up until like 25 maybe is like young adult. And then adult is like older than that.
I don't know, young adult has always been 16 up for me.
16.
So that's what I think. Yeah. But if it's from 19 up, I would say yeah, it definitely appeals for us. I don't think there's any topic here that shouldn't be talked about. But if it's younger than 18, I would say definitely yeah. Yeah. It shouldn't be for younger population.
I can say that. Like, was the story nice? I would say it was a nice story, a nice read. But I definitely was expecting more. I was just like, that's not, like, you overhyped the book so much. Not you, but the community overhyped the book so much to the extent where it's just like #1 New York Times bestselling. And then I'm reading it and I'm like, I at least I personally couldn't relate to that, honestly. Like, yeah. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad you were able to enjoy the moment and it was so unexpected for you. Like, this is exciting. You should definitely pick up the book #2. I will not. And then let me know. Come back and let me know all about it.
Never look at it, never think about it. Like, I just feel like this was a good starting book. For like any author, I feel like this was a good starting book that she came out with essentially when Romantasy came out. So this was really hype because of the theme that it came with. But yeah, I think that for a starter book, like just introducing yourself to Romantasy, I think this is a good book. Just because it's not heavily on the sexual portion that we're all, assuming. That's true. Yeah. I think it's a good introduction. I would definitely read the second book. The reason I give it a 3.8 is just because, like we mentioned, the story building was a lot about communication, which I got into, but it can get out to be a lot. And just, I just enjoyed it. I mean, I feel like, I don't have anything else to say. I mean, it was a fine book, I guess. Yeah. It doesn't leave a lot to say. Let's just say that. It's pretty straightforward.
No, that's true. And honestly, this is the first time I think I was not in love with a male lead character. Like, because usually in the past books that I've read for fantasy and it's like labeled as romantasy, I've always seen a reason that people are attracted to the male lead. This time I was just like, this man is very...
Have you seen the fan art?
No. Oh, yeah. I'm curious now.
Ryzen is...
I have to see this. Hold on.
Just super clear.
Okay, let me see.
I always look at fan art when I read books.
Okay, let me see this. Okay, let's see. Yeah, but that face does not match what I read. But that is very nice.
Which end? Because remember, he has a mask on. So which end are you talking about?
All of them are looking fine. I don't like that yellow mask, but...
Me neither. I feel like that was such an unnecessary touch to the story.
I wish the curse, like, a mask, like seriously. But
it was like just a tidbit that was added into the story. I don't think it played like a major role in the story at all. I guess you couldn't see him, but like it doesn't make any difference.
Honestly, that's true. I just, like you mentioned, there's really not a lot I can say.
And I believe us, it's not our expertise. It's just there's really not a lot to talk about. Like, would I give it another chance? I'm sorry. Would I give it another chance? Yes, I would give it another chance just because I like where the story is going. But if this was it for the storyline,
I think it would be done.
I wouldn't enjoy it. I would not enjoy it. If this was a standalone, I wouldn't enjoy it.
But I feel as if the way it's written, it could be a standalone. if you really think about it. And
I
then
wonder
just
if
the
it
way
was.
like I feel as if like the way it ended, because it's like, okay, she got in a sense her happily ever after. She got turned into one of them, and she's now, by his side, lovey dovey. Like I feel as if,
Mhm.
okay, end it right there, right? I think the only thing, on if I'm being honest, that would make me want to read book 2, because I would be questioning like, how is her bond going to be with the other guy? Because it's like, okay, you have this guy that you're in love with, but now once a week, was it like a week out of the month, right? If I remember correctly, I can't remember
Mhm.
off the top of my mind.
Yeah,
Like you have to
they
go be with the
bargained.
other guy. Yes,
Yeah,
but
they
the
bargained.
bargain never had an end date. So I'm like, what happens then? What
No.
happens if one of them dies? They were saying how the other one dies also. So it's like he can't even kill her.
Mhm. I
So
like the part where it says essentially that she was in debt to him like her whole life, and she was like, "So he thinks I'll survive." I'm like, "Oh yes, essentially." Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, essentially." I'm just interested if it's like a more like a mate bond, or is it more of a, I don't know, je ne
I
sais
don't
quoi.
think it's a mate bond, honestly.
Well, remember they were talking about it in the book.
True, but I thought isn't the
It was
main character her
introductory.
mate?
Well, remember he said that faintly you can tell who your mate is, and she never felt anything for Tamlin. But you know what interested me in the festival?
Yeah.
Remember she was getting called to the festival?
Yes.
So there was Ryzen and there was Tamlin. I know Lucian can't be part of that. Lucian is like the annoying brother that you never like.
You never know.
It'll be interesting.
You never know, because I did like his character. I have to say, he did really care for her and took care of her. So that is a
Even though
good
he
point you brought
insulted
up.
her like a million times. But yeah,
Yeah, because it's like,
definitely.
but here's the thing though. No, 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 no. I don't think so, because remember he was saying like when he was also searching for her,
Mm-hmm.
but he couldn't find her, so he had to take in another woman. Ooh. So if you did take another woman, does that technically mean you are bonded to another person and you can't be with her?
I don't know, because I don't know how the loss works, so we would have to find out. That's why there's this
Or
second.
or you could read it and just spoil me, because they're perfect. If you need me to buy you the book, I will gladly buy you the book myself, so you could.
You will
I don't have to
contribute
read.
to the cost, right?
Yes, absolutely. So that you could read it, spoil it, and I just sit and listen. Because I don't know if I can make it
You're
through that.
such a
Like,
gem.
yeah, like it's just no. I've had my
I
fair
feel,
share.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Honestly,
see.
our mind might change. We change our mind about books all the time.
All the time.
Like,
We have changed our picks. Like, I range with this, we changed it a bunch of times. Mind you, not to write us out, but we did change it a bunch of times to get to this.
no, that's true, because that was not our first option of books that we were gonna read
No.
for this month.
No.
So there's that. So, but
We'll
yeah. So
see.
that was honestly our opinion on ACOTAR Book 1 by Sarah J. Maas. She loved it. I did not. It's perfect, and we love that. This is what this is about. Getting to hear the different opinions. And then for book of the month for next time, what is the book we are reading, Angelise? Because I never remember the name.
The Pearl and the Trident. I believe that's the complete name for it. The Pearl
and Trident. Okay, perfect. That's the book we'll be reading. I'll also leave it in the description. Thank you for passing by, and goodbye.